Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we'll be taking a look at a new feature that Microsoft have recently rolled out into the latest version of Windows 11, which is the point-in-time restore. Now, this is a new feature. It kind of works very similar to System Restore, but there are some significant differences, and there's times where you should use System Restore and there's times where you should use point-in-time restore. Now, also as well, it's a really good idea to have yourself a backup solution, so maybe backing up your system to a NAS or whatever, documents, etc. But that's a discussion for another video. In today's video, we'll be looking at this new feature and discussing which one you should use and for what purposes. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's first of all talk about System Restore. So System Restore, if you don't know, is built into Windows, and it takes up a small section of your hard drive, sometimes up to 5-10% depending on the size of your drive, and essentially it uses the Windows volume shadow copy to take a snapshot of things like system files, registry, those kinds of things. So things which make Windows work. So if, say for example, you have done a Windows update or you've installed a component or a piece of software and things haven't quite worked out exactly how you planned, you could then use System Restore to go in and restore back to an earlier point. Now, System Restore won't actually change any of your system files. Well, some of your system files it will do, but the main core of Windows it won't really change. And more importantly, it doesn't change things like your documents and save settings, favorites in your browser, etc., etc. So in terms of basically repairing system faults, then System Restore is actually quite useful, and generally it will take a snapshot of your system when you do Windows updates and install new pieces of software, depending on how you've got it configured. So it's a pretty safe option to try and use System Restore because it won't affect your personal data, your settings, and all that kind of stuff. The point-in-time restore is a different beast altogether. So essentially what it will do is take an entire snapshot of your entire operating system disk. So if you have just one C drive in your computer with Windows, your games, and all your saved files, etc., it's going to save all of that as essentially an image. Again, using the Windows volume shadow, it's going to use that system and create a one-for-one image. Now, it actually only records, at the moment, up to 72 hours worth of data, and it does it on a 24-hour rotating basis. So it should do it once a day for 3 days, and then after the third day, the fourth day will replace the first day, and etc., etc., if that makes sense. Now, it actually works in a similar way because it actually uses a percentage of your hard disk drive. So potentially, if you are someone who is extremely limited on storage space on your computer, you may want to trade off some of that storage space for your security effectively. So you could disable System Restore and also disable point-in-time restore, and you could gain maybe 10-20% of your hard disk space, which could be a sizable amount. So potentially you could do that as well. But where point-in-time actually gets very different is because it literally takes a snapshot. Now, like I said, it does your entire operating system drive or your system disk, so your C drive or whatever you've called it. If you have extra drives included in your computer, maybe you've got an extra drive called D drive, which has got maybe your games, your videos, that kind of stuff. It does not include those things. So do bear that in mind. Again, when it comes to restoring, it is going to do essentially an image reversal. So if after the 24 hours that you've noticed there's a problem, you've saved some documents, you've maybe made some purchases on eBay, that sort of stuff, those will all be fine. But if you have any documents which you've saved to your drive, actually on the hard disk drive, if you do a restore point as a point-in-time restore, those will no longer be there. Now, if they're saved to cloud storage, such as your Google Drive or OneDrive, any kind of online storage, it won't affect those at all. But if it's actually stored on your hard drive, think of it as being a snapshot of whatever is saved on the computer. You then move forward a day, you maybe make some changes. If you revert back to this previous day, you lose all of the saved data from that thing. So think of it as being like an image restore, which is what a lot of backup solutions do. So if you've got something like Macrium, Reflect, and you create a system image, if you wanted to restore your system, you essentially wipe your computer and restore it with that image. Now, that is essentially how it works as well. So hopefully that makes sense. So obviously, If you've just got a few little problems and your system's a little bit wonky, then system restore is probably the way to go. If perhaps maybe you've downloaded a virus or you've got some malware on your system, then potentially you can use the point in time restore to go back to a time before you downloaded that virus or clicked on something that you shouldn't have done. Hopefully that makes sense. And obviously if you do that, it does make really good sense to actually scan your other drives as well. If you have additional drives, USBs, NAS drives, etc., potentially it could kind of proliferate into those as well. So the point in time won't restore those. It will only do your main system disk, at least as it stands at the moment. Hopefully some of that makes sense to you. If not, let me know in the comments section. But let's head over to the computer and we'll take a closer look at it and see what it actually does, and I'll show you how to use it. So here we are on our Windows 11 desktop, and if you want to find out more about the point in time restore, go down to the settings cog here, then go over to system, then scroll down until you find recovery. And now you should have a new entry here in the recovery options. You've got reset your PC, go back, advanced startup, quick machine recovery, and now we've got point in time restore. So you can turn on and manage restore points to recover your PC to an earlier point in time. So you can either view or edit. So let's click on that one. You will get the user account control because you're making settings changes. So just click yes. And here we are. This is not particularly elaborate, but you can make some changes. So point in time restore, if point in time restore is on, your PC will save restore points to revert back to. So in this instance, you can turn it either on or off. Your choice, however you want to do it. I'm going to leave it on for the moment, but you can turn it off if you want to save space, because like I said here at the bottom, max usage, it kind of reserves a certain amount of your drive, up to 2.6% on this drive, because it's a 2 gig drive. Depending on the size of your drive, the percentage obviously may be larger. So I'm going to set it back to roughly at 30 gigs. You can, or at least you will be able to in the very near future, you will be able to change the restore point frequency. So as a default at the moment, Windows runs it every 24 hours. I have found that there is a DLL file which is kind of responsible for the point in time restore. Doesn't appear at the moment that there's a manual way of actually overriding that, so you can get it to manually trigger or do it on a scheduled task. If that does become a thing, I will update the video. Also, you get the restore point retention. Now again, at the moment, because this is a new thing, they've got it set to 72 hours or 3 days. So essentially it's only ever going to keep 3 point in time restore points. Again, that's probably going to be dependent somewhat on the storage that it uses. So it is highly compressed and it is a shadow copy. So yeah, it should be fine. Also, you've got your list of current restore points. So at any one time, you should have at least one of these here. Potentially after a few days. This actually only became live in today's Windows update on the 26th of the 6th. So potentially you may not have this yet, but it will be rolling out pretty much everywhere. So that is the main kind of the beef of it there. Point in time restore, it's pretty much hands off. It just does its own thing in the background when the system is either idling. And again, if you want to check at any point, you can go into here and see what restore points you've got available. So how do we actually go about restoring a point in time restore point? So let's save this. And now what we're going to do is close it, and we'll close this window as well because we don't need that any longer. So how do you actually invoke a restore? So it's actually pretty easy. All you need to do is get into the kind of Windows recovery environment. If you're not sure how to do that, you can do it from a USB disk, like a disk which has been used with Media Creation Tool. You can boot from that. Ideally, if you can slightly boot to your computer, whether it's crashing or whatever, you should still be able to get into safe mode. So click on the start flag and go over to your power options and click on restart. But before you do it, hold down the shift key on your keyboard and then press restart. And then what you're going to find is it's going to go through the shutdown process. Keep holding the shift key. We want to keep on holding the shift key until we see the please wait sign come back up again after a restart. So I'm still holding it now. I may cut this bit, but we'll see how long it takes. But the system will try and reboot very shortly. Still holding the shift key, and there, please wait. So once you see please wait, you can remove your finger from the shift key. That way you know it's actually going to do it. So what that is going to do is essentially boot into the Windows recovery environment. So now we've got some options. Now, if you go to troubleshoot and then go to this section here, point in time restore. So it's pretty obvious what it is. It's very easy to find, and it will find a restore point. So it says there, select a restore point to restore your PC to the exact state it was at an earlier point in time. You can learn more at that location. So the last one was done 4:20 roughly this afternoon. It's currently about an hour later, actually, hour and 5 minutes later. So we could quite safely do this restore, and I haven't changed any system files, so that'll be fine. So if you want to choose that one, you click on it. You also tells you what it's going to do. So all changes made on the PC after the restore point will be lost. This includes data, documents, and downloads, installed apps and configurations, system settings, updates, and other changes. So if a Windows update goes pear-shaped, this is quite handy to get around that. Passwords, secrets, and certificates and keys which have been created since the restore point time will be lost, and data stored in cloud services like OneDrive will not be lost because it doesn't affect those. It just affects your main system disk. Like I said, it doesn't affect other drives on the system. So if you've got a D drive, an E drive, a Z drive, whatever it is, it won't affect those at all at this time. It will only be for your primary operating system disk and whatever is enclosed on it. By continuing, you acknowledge the risks and limitations with this feature, which may include data loss. So do be mindful of that before you go ahead and do it. Obviously, if there's anything important or you think there might be something important, maybe try and do a system restore rather than a point in time. But I'm pretty happy that this is going to be fine. So I'm going to click on continue. And again, you're going to get another warning because obviously they want you to be sure you're going to do this. So it says, warning, all changes made to this PC after the restore point will be lost. So in the restore point time, again, was 4:19 PM. So anything which happened after that time will be lost. Also, make sure you keep your PC powered on during the restore and plug it into a mains power source to avoid interruptions. I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. So when you're happy, you can click on restore, or if you're a bit unsure, you can go back and choose a different restore point if there is one, or you can cancel and go back into Windows if you're feeling a little bit unsure and you maybe want to consider your options. But you want to see how this works, so I'm going to click on restore, and there it's going to go. Very much like system restore, it's going to say preparing, keep your device on. I've actually tested this on my main video editing PC, which was a little bit risky, but what the heck. I did that, and that is a 1 terabyte drive with all of my apps and things like that on there, and it took approximately 9 minutes to do the complete task. So it doesn't take very long. It does run quite quick. Obviously, it's going to depend on the drive in your system and also the amount of RAM, processor, etc, etc. So yeah, your mileage may vary. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to do its thing, and I don't foresee any new problems happening. Again, this is my streaming PC, so there's not really much on there other than streaming settings, which I'm really concerned about. Would be a pain to reinstall it, but this is actually quite a handy little tool. It's just another thing in the arsenal of tools we've got from Microsoft. So you've got your system restore, which is great. You've obviously now got this point in time restore. You've also got the other recovery options, such as getting online fixes, etc. So yeah, I think they are trying to help us out. And for those of you that fiddle around and tweak with your PC, install random stuff, or maybe just accidentally click on links that you shouldn't do, then this could potentially be a lifesaver. And it saves you having a third-party piece of software, such as the likes of Macrium and other cloning tools. This potentially could help you out a lot. Anyway, hopefully this video's been interesting and potentially even helpful. If it has, maybe consider giving it a like. If you're feeling particularly generous, feel free to give the video a hype. That's a new YouTube thing, so please feel free to take advantage of that, and it helps out the channel. Otherwise, if you've got any more comments or questions, you can leave them in the comments section below, or alternatively head over to our Discord for a chat about this or many other things, including global warming if you want to. Hey, why not? It's pretty much a free-for-all on our server. Anyway, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.